So heat number 10, Jan Petersen in red, Peter Nolleen in blue, Ollie Trevainen in white, and Kai Niemi in yellow and black. Well, Kai Niemi in yellow and black is the veteran Finn, there's no argument about that. He's retired from conventional league racing, just taking his part in World Championship events in 1990. And he's on the outside as it takes rise on heat number 10. And the first to show is Peter Nolleen from Sweden. But just look, driving around the outside is Finland's Kai Niemi. Kai Niemi it is, with a new lease of life in heat number 10. Kai Niemi in first place, Peter Nolleen in second, and Ollie Trevainen in third, and Jan Petersen back in fourth. So Kai Niemi certainly showing people that he can still do the business. So many clubs he's rode for in the British League, the list is endless. The last of which was last season with the Coventry Bees in the Midland at Brandon Stadium. Peter Nolleen was very hopeful of trying to win this one. He looked down the programme before the meeting and said that heat number 10 was one he wanted desperately to win to get the 3 points. But he's got some work to do to catch up this man in yellow and black, Kai Niemi. Still in third place is Ollie Trevainen from Finland. So a 4-2, dare we say, to Finland at the moment, with Kai Niemi going around the final two bends of heat number 10. Looks over his shoulder, it's Kai Niemi that wins. Peter Nolleen second, and Ollie Trevainen back in third. So in a lovely, nice set of leathers, it's Kai Niemi with number 2 on his back who gets the 3 points. Peter Nolleen gets 2, and 1 to Ollie Trevainen. Kai Niemi is the winner of heat number 10. So heat number 11, Arnt Forland in red, Einar Killingstad in blue, both of those riders from Norway. Conor Iversen in white, and Per Jonsson in yellow and black, those two from Sweden on the outside two gates. Well, Arnt Forland was very unfortunate in his first outing. You may recall heat number 2 when he fell on the final bend. He certainly looked a live wire in that particular race. Let's see if he can mix it with the two experienced Swedish riders on the outside. Starting marshal calling them in. He's now walking away. We wait for the green light to go on. It does. And away they drive from the start of heat number 11. And the first to show is the two Swedes. Jonsson on the outside, Iversen on the inside of him. But it's Per Jonsson from Stockholm United, just with his nose in front from Conor Iversen from Vetlanda. Well, if he can hold on, Jonsson will go in the interval stage here at Linköping, unbeaten on 9 points. But he's got just over 3 more laps to do yet. Conor Iversen in second place. Still Iversen in white in second place. Arnt Forland in red is in third. But Per Jonsson looking very neat and tidy in first place at the moment. We've lost Einar Killingstad with engine failure. But still these three doing the biz out on the circuit. And Per Jonsson now beginning to extend that lead over Conor Iversen in second place. And he's surely got 1 foot on the doorstep, shall we say, of that Intercontinental final. Round the last two bends from Sweden, it's going to be Per Jonsson that takes the checker flag. Jonsson wins. And the race to the line, and Conor Iversen is pipped on the line by Arnt Forland from Norway. Conor Iversen looks down at his machine, which gives way. So heat number 12, the last one before the interval stage of this Scandinavian final. Jimmy Nielsen red, Hans Nielsen blue, Dennis Lufquist in white, and Jens Henry Nielsen in yellow and black. This is heat number 12. Jimmy Nielsen on 5, Hans Nielsen 3, Lufquist 4, and Jens Henry Nielsen yellow and black is on 2. You may recall Jens Henry has taken part in the ice racing scene, particularly this winter in the Oulu quarter-final, which we brought to you on exclusively on Screen Sport. Away they drive from the start of heat number 12, and the first to show, not too unpredictable, was Hans Nielsen. Hans Nielsen in blue, Jimmy Nielsen in white, and Dennis Lufquist, sorry, Jimmy Nielsen red, Dennis Lufquist in white, and at the back is Jens Henry Nielsen in yellow and black. So Hans Nielsen, with 1 lap gone, is in first position, pole place. Jimmy Nielsen trying to put pressure on him. Dennis Lufquist back in third. Lufgren, as he's known in Sweden. But Hans Nielsen in the blue helmet colour, under a little bit of pressure after that Duff first ride. Now coming back to do the biz. This will be his second win of the evening here in Linköping, if he can hold on. Still Jimmy Nielsen in second place, and Dennis Lufquist back in third. So 1 more lap to go in heat number 12. And the familiar style of the Toyota kid, Hans Nielsen, from of course the Oxford Cheetahs camp in the British League. He led them to the British League title in 1989. He comes out of the final bend to win heat number 12. It's Hans Nielsen that wins, Jimmy Nielsen second, and in third place is Dennis Lufquist. So there we are, Hans Nielsen on 6 points as he wins the race before the interval stage here in Linköping, heat number 12. So there we see the scoreboard. For all riders, they've had 3 outings. Per Jonsson unbeaten on 9 points. Jano Peterson of Denmark just dropped the 1 point to Jimmy Nielsen. Heat 5 is on 8. Jimmy Nielsen 7. 3 riders on 6. Connie Iversen, Henrik Gustafsson from Sweden, and Hans Nielsen from Denmark. And 1 rider on 5, Dennis Lufquist from Sweden. So the pace really hotting up here in Linköping as we progress to now the second half of this Scandinavian final. There's Jano Peterson just putting on his crush helmet for heat number 13. Yellow and black is Jano Peterson in this race. Jano, one of the dynamic Danes of British League Speedway and World Speedway these days. Sadly lost Eric Gunderson last season through that horrific crash in the World Team Cup final in Bradford Stadium in September. Jano to partner Hans Nielsen in the World Pairs for Denmark in this season's outing, and one of the co-favourites for the World Individual Championship in 1990. Sponsored by Otto Weiss, the engine tuner from Germany, Amsperchasm, a bank in Denmark, and Castrol Oil, of course, supplying him with the necessary fuel and equipment. Well, he's up against the rider in white there. That's, of course, Per Jonsson, unbeaten at the halfway stage from Stockholm United. He's on 9 points, so something's got to give as the tape strides on heat number 13. The full lineup: Jens Henry Nielsen in red, Jan Petersen blue, Per Jonsson white, and Jano Peterson in yellow and black. So the riders there, the starting marshal walks away, the green light's on and away they drive. First time the tapes led up very, very quick indeed. And it's Jens Henry Nielsen is the first to show Per Jonsson on the outside. Per Jonsson, oh my word, just gets his nose in front. Jens Henry Nielsen still second. Jano Petersen round the outside of Jens Henry Nielsen, now making up ground on Per Jonsson. So a 1 lap goal is Jonsson, but just look at Pedersen. Jonsson looks over his shoulder, tries to get the bike down, it lifts, but Jano Petersen is through. The tiny Dane in yellow and black coming up to complete his second lap is through to first place. Third to first in 2 laps, number 1 on his back. And who would doubt that this Dane will have that feat at Oslo Stadium on September the 1st. Certainly in tremendous form. 1 more lap to go, putting up a commanding lead in heat number 13. Jano Petersen from Denmark in yellow and black. Still Per Jonsson in second place in white. Jens Henry Nielsen, who was the prize packet on the first lap, is back in 3rd place. But to take the checkered flag, it's Jano Petersen that wins. Per Jonsson in 2nd place. Jens Henry Nielsen gets the solitary point. But Jano Petersen doing the business in the first 2 laps comes from 3rd to 1st to collect the 3 points as he wins heat number 13. So heat number 14, red, winner last time out, Koinimi, blue, Jimmy Nielsen, white, Arndt Forland, in yellow and black is Brian Carger. Well, Brian Carger suffered the engine problems first time out, he desperately needs the points. So does Koinimi. One would imagine Arndt Forland is now out of contention. And Jimmy Nielsen on 7 points. Well, 7, a couple more would secure his future into the Intercontinental final. And with the lineup, he'd be looking for the 2 points in heat number 14. He goes into gate number 2 in the blue helmet colour. Koinimi on the inside will be the one to watch as the tapes rise on heat number 14. And the way they drive in the first to show, oh my word, arms and shoulders flying everywhere from Koinimi and Jimmy Nielsen. Now it's just Koinimi at the moment, but Jimmy Nielsen cuts underneath him. So Jimmy Nielsen through the first place, Koinimi and Brian Carger having a rare old battle for 2nd place. It's just Carger now coming through. So Koinimi with the arms and that going on the entrance to the first turn is now back in 3rd place. But Jimmy Nielsen in blue, Brian Carger in yellow, so Sweden versus Denmark with 2 laps gone. Just Jimmy Nielsen holding on, looks over his shoulder, he sees that Carger's not that far behind, he can't afford to make a mistake. Carger trying the outside line, makes up a bit of ground, but Nielsen pulling away from him. One more lap to go. Down the back straight for the final time. Jimmy Nielsen in the blue helmet colour, just holding on to Brian Carger in second place in yellow. Coming up to take the fleckered flag is Jimmy Nielsen who wins. Brian Carger in second place, and Koinimi holding on to third. So 3 points to Jimmy Nielsen, 2 to Brian Carger, and 1 to Koinimi. So that puts Jimmy Nielsen now on to 10 points as he wins heat 14. So heat number 15, Bo Peterson red, Connie Everson blue, Dennis Lufquist in white, and Peter Norlin in yellow and black. So 2 riders on 5 and 1 on 6, and Bo Peterson in red. Well, he needs a few more points from this particular outing. Heat number 15. Three Swedes and 1 Dane as they drive from the start, and who's going to be the first to show is Connie Everson in blue with his nose in front. Coming around the outside in white is Dennis Lufquist. Has he got the speed? Not quite. Connie Everson holding on. Lufquist coming around the outside of him. Dennis Lufquist, who really has been doing the biz for Kings Lynn in the British League, cuts underneath Connie Everson. Has he got the power? My word, we've got a good scrap on our hands here in heat 15. Peter Norlin back in third place and Bo Peterson fourth. But all eyes are on the first 2. Bo Peterson now overtaking Peter Norlin, which is a bit of a surprise. But all eyes on the first 2 with Connie Everson just holding on to the lead from Dennis Lufquist. Still it is Everson in the blue helmet colour and the blue leathers, with 1 more lap to go. Crane Technique is his sponsors in Vetlanda. They'll be watching every move here in this Nordic final, willing him to go on through to the big one, the World Final in Bradford. The last 2 bends, has he got the speed? Dennis Lufquist to make up ground. Can he do it? No, it's just Everson that wins. Dennis Lufquist in second place. Bo Peterson holds on the third. But it's good scrap, and wow, look at the sportsmanship. 2 good Swedish Speedway riders. But it's Connie Everson in the blue helmet colour that gets the 3 points. Dennis Lufquist 2, and Bo Peterson 1. Everson wins heat number 15. So heat number 16, Einar Killingstad in red, Henrik Gustafsson in blue, Hans Nielsen in white, and Ollie Tervainen in yellow and black. Well, Hans Nielsen has bounced back with 2 heat wins after a duff first outing. In the interval he tells us that his engine was seizing up and he just decided to drift round to try and get the point if anybody fell off or had engine problems. So now out to try and get his 3rd win of the Scandinavian final. Henrik Gustafsson in blue. Just damaged his thumb in that spill in heat number 9. And in red, Einar Killingstad, while on 2 points, hardly out of things, but he could mix it in this particular heat. So the 2 to watch really will be blue, Henrik Gustafsson, and in white, Hans Nielsen. The starting marshal's getting a little bit impatient with Einar Killingstad. Calling him now into the line. He's clear, the green light goes on, and the tapes rise on heat number 16, and who's going to get to the first bend? It's Hans Nielsen in white. Hans Nielsen in white, first to show. Down the back straight is Hans Nielsen, yellow and black is Ollie Tervainen second. Now Henrik Gustafsson coming up to put pressure on Ollie Tervainen. Gustafsson back in third, which is a little bit of a surprise to say the least. Especially that you see Ollie Tervainen in second place. Oh look, Henrik Gustafsson coming up alongside Ollie Tervainen. Hans Nielsen well clear of the pack, but all eyes are on the battle for second and third place. 2 laps gone, and just look at these 2, you could throw a blanket over them. Yellow and black is the Finn. Ollie Tervainen in blue from Sweden. Is the crowd getting very, very excited, willing him on to win. Henrik Gustafsson cuts underneath Ollie Tervainen. Has he got the speed with 1 more lap to go? Still Tervainen holds on. Hans Nielsen still well in front. Tervainen just wide. Can Gustafsson make up any ground? It's neck and neck as they have the final 2 turns. Tervainen on the outside, Gustafsson on the inside, cuts underneath him. It's a race to line. Gustafsson just gets there, and Ollie Tervainen is in third. Just listen to the crowd go crazy. It's Hans Nielsen that wins. He just wasn't aware of what was happening behind him. I'm sure he thinks the applause is for him, but 3 points to Hans Nielsen, 2 for Henrik Gustafsson, and 1 for Ollie Tervainen, and a good race and a good scrap in heat number 16. So there we are, all the riders had 4 outings. Jano Petersen on 11 with Per Jonsson, Jimmy Nielsen on 10, Connie Everson on 9 with Hans Nielsen, Henrik Gustafsson 8 and Dennis Lufgust 7. Join us after the break.
Screen Sport is now available in English, French, German and Dutch. If you're watching the channel on cable and are not hearing the language you would like, please contact your cable operator. If you have your own dish, you can select the language you want to hear. English can be found at a frequency of 7.2 MHz.
Français sur la fréquence 738 MHz.
Die Frequenz für Deutsch ist 7,02 MHz.
Nederlands zit op de frequentie 7,56 MHz.
Contact your dealer for further information.
And here's the pitch. There it goes!
Which is your favorite baseball team? The New York Yankees, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Boston Red Sox, the Chicago Cubs, the New York Mets, or maybe another team. You can watch your team week after week throughout the season. Complete games followed by a highlight show of all the league action, all on a giant 3-hour video cassette. The team you want, the complete game you want, all with the original commentary, original excitement. Posted in the UK only days after the action in the USA. Order 6 and get the baseball guide free as a bonus. 550 pages, statistics, pictures, records, and this year's game schedule. 1 million facts at your fingertips. Weekly tapes are only £6.99 plus £1 postage. Order 1 or as many as you like, no obligation. To watch your favorite team in baseball, basketball, or college football anywhere in the world, call Pontel on the worldwide hotline now.
Welcome back to Linköping for the conclusion of this 1990 Scandinavian final. Heat number 17, next on the agenda, Jano Petersen red, Arndt Forlund blue, Bas Velner from Finland, the reserve, coming in white, and Dennis Lufgust is in yellow and black. So Jano Petersen, if he can win this outing, ends up on 14 and would guarantee a run-off at least for first place here in the Nordic Championship, but he's got to win this one. And Dennis Lufgust will be his main threat in the yellow and black helmet colour in gate number 4. This is heat number 17. Away they drive from the start, and the first to show, yes, as expected, is Jano Petersen, with Dennis Lufgust trying to make up ground. Jano Petersen red, Lufgust in yellow, the two to watch. The reserve, Elnan from Finland, holding on to third place from Arndt Forlund, who's tailed off since that great escapade in heat number 2. But it's Jano Petersen from Denmark setting his sights on 3 more points on a 14-point tally with 2 laps gone. Still Dennis Lufgust in second place. But it's all about points, all about places, and the top 7, as you know, go through to that Intercontinental final. And these last 4 outings will determine just who they are, with 1 more lap to go in heat 17. And all the calculators, all the business has been done. They all know what they've got to do. This fella, though, in red is already there, but he would dearly like to get this Scandinavian title. He comes out to take the checker flag. It's Jano Petersen that wins. Second place in yellow is Dennis Lufgust. It's Elnan from Finland who holds on to third place. But Jano Petersen from Denmark gets 3 points, and he ends up on 14. 2